Hi, welcome to Dylan Creates. Today I want to share one of my favorite tools for creators with you, Pixabay. If you've ever needed free, copyright-free images, or if you've ever thought about sharing your own creations online, this is a platform you'll want to check out. I'm going to cover three things: what Pixabay is, how to upload your own work, and how I personally use it to test out some of my designs. So what is Pixabay? Let's start with the basics. Pixabay is a website that offers free images, videos, music, and illustrations. I have used the sound effects that's over here in some of my earlier videos, but that just makes my videos a little goofy. The main things I use are photos, illustrations, vectors. So what we're going to do is we'll start with a search. So since I'm making this video in the fall, I'm going to go look for fall leaves background. And the reason I'm putting background, I use a lot of backgrounds for my designs. That's what I upload. Look what we get. We get 563,041 free images of fall leaves background. I have taken fall leaves before, downloaded them, and run them through some other art editing software to make them look different, whether to make a photograph look like a painting or to use a photograph to put into rubber to make my pattern designs. In fact, if you want to know more about the use of it, I did want to go over here and forgot that, just skipped over it. Content license summary. There's some other terms and service policy, privacy policy, cookies, all these sorts of things are on here that you can look at. So basically what you're allowed to do, use the content for free, use the content without having to attribute the author, although giving credit is always appreciated by our community. I do have some other videos that I made where I used video clips, and I did list those in my description of my video. It's not this channel, but something else I've been playing around with just to have fun, and I've actually credited those video people I have done, because it's mostly been videos. I don't think I've used any still photos in my other YouTube channel. Modify or adapt content into new works, and that's what I was talking about, how like you could download it and make it into new things. That is probably the most accepted way of using these copyright-free images. These are what you're not allowed to do with the content. You cannot sell or distribute content either in digital or physical form on a standalone basis. Basically, that just means you cannot take an image, download it, and resell it as is. If you want to download it and say it's a background pattern and you wanted to create some stencils of like Christmas trees and you took some Christmas patterns, that's fine, you can do that, but you cannot not use the pattern image just as is. And if the content contains any recognizable trademarks, logos, or brands, you cannot use that content for commercial purposes. You cannot reuse it and make it into your own. So if you made a stencil of that Christmas tree, you could not use it for a logo or brand of your own. You can use it as a background on your website, but you would not be able to use it in your logo or brand. Again, you can read over this on your own, and you can look even further into the terms of service to see what it says there. Don't use the content in a moral or illegal way, especially if it features recognizable people. You cannot use content in a misleading or deceptive way, and you cannot use any of the content as part of a trademark, design mark, trademark. So basically it goes back to up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Pixabay and we're going to search for those fall leaves again. Fall leaves background is what I had. So here is a nice image for using, and the other thing is, and this is what I intend for the designs that I'm going to upload here in a little bit, is that I could click on this, and if I'm a paper crafter, I could download this, print it on my paper, and use it into my crafting projects. So if you are just a hobbyist looking for new ways for things you don't have to pay for, you don't have to go to Etsy and purchase this, you got it right here. You can download it, and basically you can download it, you do this. Now I will say I have all the options here available, and that's because I am signed in. If I was not signed in, or I don't have an account, and you don't have to have an account to download images, you are limited to the smaller sizes. I believe at these last two, the larger sized images, you would have to have an account. They also have like where you can edit the image directly in Canva. So if you have a Canva account, you just click on there and it will take you directly to Canva. You can try that out on your own. So a place for you to like it, to save it. You can follow the designers. If you like designer, you just click follow. They also have, and this is what I'm hoping for someday just because I intend to share more as I go along. And I don't care if people download it for free and they use it for free. That's part of, I feel like, my service to the internet. But I have, especially for videos that I've used, because I feel like that takes so much more time. But I feel like if there's something I really, really like, I'm going to donate to that person, and I have done that in the past. So you just hit the donate button, and it will give you how you can donate. So you can donate with PayPal, or you can use a debit or credit card. We'll close out of that for now. And I don't know if you saw it, there's also a spot where you can make it a monthly donation. So if you follow a designer and you use their stuff regularly, maybe you want to donate $2 to them every month. And maybe you would like to pay them $50, but you can't afford $50 right now and you just want to do a couple dollars every month. Go for it. They will definitely appreciate it. So I'm going to go back and see what there's a few things I can show you. The cool thing that I like is at the top. Is there ways to filter out what you're looking at? So all images, I can look at photos, illustrations, or vectors. And then there's also these as well. I bet there are a few videos. Yes, so we've got some fall videos. Again, these are ones that you can download, especially if you're looking for a background on a website or a video, like a reel or something you want to put this in. And also, again, you have the Canva button. You can go straight to Canva and edit that video. Let's go back. And what if I just wanted photos? There's all the photos. Ooh, that's a really pretty one. This is a good background with the leaves. And let's just go to vectors. What do we see in vectors? And vectors are going to be, this is a very logo-like. It also kind of looks like a Girl Scout badge to me. And then you can tell the ones that have transparent backgrounds because they have, if you don't know and if you've not done enough graphic editing yourself, when you make images inside of Photoshop and you have a canvas that is transparent, that when it is downloaded and put up somewhere else, you'll see this as a background. So you know this is transparent. So it should download as a PNG, and it does. We go back. I would imagine almost all vectors are PNGs. Let's see what the little squirrel is. There, it also is available as an SVG, a vector graphic that way. So that's basically how to use those. There's a nice one if you are also need one to, this is a great one to add another image over top of this one if you're wanting to make it as a frame for a photo or other artwork or picture. So now let's talk about uploading, because this is a really cool, as long as you have an account, and I have an account, I'm logged in up here. So you'll just need to click the upload button. This is how easy it is. Again, once you're logged in, you can drag and drop, or you can browse, and it shows you all the different files that you can upload. So if you're good at sound effects, it's a great place to put sound effects for other people to use. And I'm just going to drop in a design that I've had in a file for a while. And this one's kind of fall-like and Halloween. And then you want to add tags, because right now it's not very discoverable. So we can put hexagon, black, orange, Halloween, fall, autumn, and you'll see it keeps giving you, if you want to do it that way, then you see one, it'll pop up, and it'll pop up related ones to ones you've already done, but I don't really have any of those. These are kind of spider web-ish, maybe just web. It's also more like kind of like a starburst. We'll put that in, and as you see, my discoverability has been going up as we go along. I also will try to put things that can be used for, like background. It's also a pattern, and I don't know if it's a texture. I'll leave that. I'll leave that alone. Oh, other thing, geometric. I like to use the word geometric for a lot of my designs like this. Add an AI label. This was not created with AI. I have added some AI images, but this one is not, so I'll leave that alone. If I decide I don't like it, I can go ahead and delete it from here, but I don't want to. And then there's a submit button down at the bottom. So you just click the submit button. Congratulations, your media has been submitted to Pixabay. We are reviewing your uploads. Sometimes it's almost instantaneous. I think the more you upload, the more often. Now you're only allowed so many uploads a week, so you see I have 6 more uploads. So basically I believe it's 7 a week, 1 for each day. So the week has started over. Today is Sunday. I uploaded 3 or 4 last week, and there were several weeks I didn't upload, but you are given an allotment. They don't want anybody to overwhelm the system. Next, we can add descriptions to increase discoverability. Add a description. So add a description. I think you have to go in here to add it. So here are all the ones that I've uploaded, but let's go ahead and add the description. Halloween theme background pattern of a geometric web-like shape. So go ahead and save. Okay, so now it's in quality review. So it will take it, like it said, 1 to 3 days. These 3 are the most recent ones that I uploaded, and it took less than 24 hours for them to approve it. This one is AI, so you can go into your AI generators and make images, and I will download those AI. Before I upload them here, I will download them and I will tweak them so that they are at their best quality instead of just tiny little fuzzy ones. I've had 1 like on this. It's had 8 downloads, 11 views. 8 downloads for 11 views is a pretty good ratio. And then I'm just going to go back. Oh, it opens up in a separate window. So I'm going to go back. I have to go back on my tab up here. So I've shown you a few of the statistics on one of the pictures, and I've actually taken a break and I've come back the next day. I've uploaded a couple more here. Images, patterns, this kind of like dark crosses and some orange and black polka dotted type of background. Those are my 2 newest. So now this is when it gets interesting, and this is what I kind of started out uploading my images to Pixabay because I wanted to see how well they were liked before they went anywhere else. And of course, I'm not promoting them anywhere. This is strictly putting them on Pixabay and see if they get discovered. And so I'll upload a new design and then watch how many people liked it, downloaded, or comment. I do have a few comments. If an image gets a lot of attention, I know it has potential for my Etsy store or other platforms. Or if I want to use it and say like a fabric, because some things I do as a fabric, but there's a different way when I put it up on Spoonflower. That most of these on here are the 12-inch, more of like paper crafting 1-to-1 ratio. As you can see, some of my AI images are more landscape. And then if it doesn't get too much agreement, I know I might either need to tweak it or just try something else or just enjoy it for having it up here and sharing it with others who would like to have it. So one of the things that you can do to see how well your pictures are doing, every single image will have your views, your downloads, your likes, and your comments. But you can also go over to your profile and go to statistics, and then you will see this chart. So this is when I started uploading, which was in November of last year, so it's almost a year old. And at one point I had 100 views one day, and you just kind of, see what this line is the views. So it's all the times it's been seen. The downloads is how many times it's been downloaded. Is a thing for likes, and then there's also one for comments. And I've had hardly any comments, so that's almost pretty flat. But at the top, I've got all of my images have had a total of 1,421 views. None of my videos have been played, but I only have 4 maybe? 677 downloads. That's pretty good. I mean, people are enjoying it. I'm sure there's other people in here, they've been on a lot longer. I'm sure their download number is huge compared to mine. I've had 24 likes. I'm proud of that. And I've only had 1 comment. Remember I said I didn't think I had very many comments? I've only had 1. And then down here, you have the individual statistics sorted by the number of downloads. So this illustration here has had the most downloads at 133, and I go all the way down, and this one has 11. So it doesn't give you every single one, but it gives you a selection. And over here you can see how many views it's had. So the one that has had the most downloads also has had the most views, 192. And then over here it tells me my most used tags. I do a lot of geometrical patterns, so they're backgrounds, their pattern. I think of them more as a scrapbook page, and then it gets down into all the other ones that I've used. And here's the upload, here's the latest. I can always sort these pictures down here by popularity, and you can break them out by photos and video as well, but mostly what I have are images. And then also you can see which ones have the most downloads. My green around I did these two green ones around St. Patrick's Day. They were very popular. I haven't done anything with these in a paper pack yet. I have used this one. This one was really popular. Let's click on this. Let's take a closer look at it. So I've got 2 likes, but I have had 116 views and 72 downloads. It tells me what the media type is, the resolution, the date I published it, and I do have 2 followers. That's kind of cool. I ended up taking this design and putting it with lots of different color backgrounds, and it is in my Spoonflower shop as basically a summer print that I call orange slices. See in here I put abstract orange slices on purple background. This also was made with Repper, and doing some special effects to it is what caused me to have something that looked like orange slices. So that was a pretty neat thing to do. So as a creator, if you want to play around and just see what people like, and you'd like to share it with some other people just for the fun of it, Pixabay is a great way to do that. So basically, the whole thing is giving you a huge library of free images. So we go back to the Pixabay main page. Sometimes it's fun just to see what's on their front page and see what is available that you can use for your website, Instagram backgrounds, TikTok backgrounds, wherever you need an image that you either can't create yourself or you just don't have time to create for yourself. Come over here and look at some of these neat images. Or maybe you need a photo to go along with an article. If you write blogs, this is the perfect place to get photos and artwork for your blogs. And I can't think of anything else I need to tell you other than just have some fun with it. And some of the other things that you can do, I've taken these pictures and put them in LunaPic and created artworks. I actually at one time was selling puzzles on Etsy, and I did okay, but I got a lot of bad feedback because the vendor I was using quality wasn't very good. So I hope this gives you an idea of what you can use Pixabay for, either to gather images, upload images, test out images. If you think of any other way you would use this for, drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear what people are doing with free images, whether it's these copyright free on a place like this, or if you've investigated how to get public domain. These are considered kind of public domain, but the true public domain, ones that I've went into the public domain, usually more older works. I have a video on that you can watch. I'll either link it here or link it in the description below. But feel free to give me a like and subscribe if you want. I think you all know how to do that. So in the meantime, have fun with creating, and I'll see you next time.